Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and we are going to continue our Israeli war coverage and the other news and headlines and data points from around the world that we should probably take aware. And we're just going to jump right into this. So, without further ado, again, in no specific order. So the first one, the announcement, and let me pop over here. I'm going to post a picture. I used to do this for all you new followers. I used to take and move over and post pictures right here, which it should pop up. And then the YouTube algorithm hated it, so I quit doing it, and my numbers and everything went up. But with all you new subscribers, I'm going to try it out. So I'll put it right here. So announced is the Chad, Chile, Colombia, Bolivia, Honduras, Jordan, Bahrain, Turkey, and South Africa. So that is 9, for those of you keeping count, countries that have, in the very recent, within the past couple of days, have pulled back all their diplomats and representatives out of Israel. So here you go, all your people that is taking sides in this. So, they're making things known. They're showing you where they stand. Now, if you keep and look at that map, that's not here in this region. That is all over the place. So it's just a data point, but again, we're starting to draw lines here. Moving on, because I got quite a few, so stick with me. So let me show you another picture. So in this picture, this is the current known naval assets over in the Middle Eastern region. Now, you can pause this if you need to, but just look at how many known naval assets. Now, I say that because when you're doing a military exercise, you're doing, a military, just about, anything that's significant, you turn off, trackers and transponders and things like that. It's the element of surprise, because if you and I can jump on a free app from the App Store and track, then so can anybody that has a smartphone. Okay, so it's not that difficult. So this is all, open source intelligence. I have no inside information, but it is, keep in mind, this is something of interest. So CENTCOM posted a picture of the Ohio class submarine has arrived to the area. Now, this is a very big deal, and I think a lot of people miss this that have seen that headline, because you're sending a very strong message sending an Ohio class sub to that area. That is a nuclear powered sub. That is one that carries a lot of cruise missiles, and I'm pretty sure that you can do nuclear tipped or nuclear warhead, or however you say that. Um, so we're pushing in that whole nuke thing again, right into that region. All this talk about nukes and all this other stuff. Um, and here's the thing: Iran has, come out, and for a while now, and it's kind of that back and forth about their 30 days away, or they're 2 weeks away, or 6 months away from having enough enriched uranium to be able to have a nuclear weapon. Now, do they or do they not? You know, but it's one of those things. Let's say that they do. Now, that's bad for anybody, okay? But we don't know the extent of their missiles. Now, if they have one, we know they have missiles. So that means all of our assets and all of our allies in that area, that's bad news. Now, do they have intercontinental distance missiles? Could they reach mainland USA? Don't know. I can't find anything that says that they do, or technically that they don't. And even if they don't, it's not a Iranian. Why couldn't they just somehow get one from the Chinese or from Russia? We know they do, and they're very big allies. So just a data point. Just keep that in mind. Um, and by doing that, we're going to skip into this next one here. So keep in mind that China has come out recently and publicly stated that any violation of sovereignty of Iran will trigger a response by Beijing. Now, that's important. Russia's already come out and kind of made their piece of, this is who we're backing. Russia has recently gave very similar statements. So the U.S. against Iran. Everybody stays out of it. It's just U.S. It's just Iran. I think every single person on the planet would go, hey, U.S. has got that hands down. So Iran gets help from Russia, from China, from all the little proxy people that they have. Suddenly they become a lot more powerful. And so normally when you would have these people come in, because if they didn't have as big of a backing as what they're getting, Iran is in no way wanting a war with America. It's not. It wouldn't be good for them in any way, shape, or form. They know they would lose. They know they would lose a ton of people. America would come in and topple everything, kind of make it probably like a power grab of like Iraq or any of the other ones in there. It'd just be bad news. So they send in their little proxy people to go in there. Now, with all the very strong signaling of, hey, we got you, go do what you're going to do. This is, in that corner of sense that Iran becomes the proxy for Russia and China. We're not involved. We're just going to sit back here. Whatever they do, that's on them. But if you go in their backyard, we're stepping in. So now that's kind of that little kid's thing of the little kid gets to run his mouth because suddenly his real big brother's right behind him. So we'll kind of see. Just data point. Keep that in mind. Now, there is a bunch of pictures and videos coming out of some malfunctions with the Iron Dome and some of the missiles failing, actually like launching off for no reason, doing some spirals and coming straight into the ground. I can't confirm those 100%, but there's a ton of chatter and a lot of talk right now that it's due to a possible hack. Now, that gets me thinking, and you guys chime in down in the comment section. Is all these little lob a couple, is this a test to see if you've hacked the system? You do your little thing. I think I got it. Launch a couple. The Iron Dome intercepts. All right, back to the drawing board. You go back to work. You punch your keys. You do your things. Lob a couple of more, over and over and over. Eventually, if this comes out to be true, they go, okay, let's test it. They launch, and all of a sudden, nothing happens. That's a very scary thing. Can you imagine what would happen if is this what we're waiting for? Just think with me just for a second. All these people, you got the Houthi, you've got Hezbollah, you've got ISIS, you got all these people all around, and they're just lobbing little things right now, just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Is this just something to keep them, occupied and just a little test until they go, boom, we've got the Iron Dome system completely hacked and it is down. And then all of a sudden they all just rain down. Now that is terrifying if that comes out to be. Hopefully that never happens. I don't want to be right on that one. Okay. Now here's one that I don't think I've seen anybody report on. Captain Netanyahu was killed in active duty in Gaza. Now, not Bibi Netanyahu, not Benji. His nephew was killed in active duty in Gaza. Now, I don't know if that changes anything, but it is definitely a data point. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one because I haven't seen a whole bunch of people talk about that one yet. There is a massive deployment. Let me move over because I got a picture for this one. There's a massive deployment of the PLA Navy and aircraft around Taiwan. Now, remember, if you watch in this right here, the different colors, you got reds and blues. The U.S. has a lot of assets right in that area from Japan kind of down. And look at the red dots that's going in and going, around and kind of, I don't know if it's testing or if they're putting the pieces in place to do a blockade or whatnot, but that's a data point, okay? They keep pushing that limits and they keep moving things over and they keep doing this. So could we see something pop soon? It's likely that we could. Now, by soon, do I mean tomorrow? Probably not. It could happen, but probably not. Do I mean by the end of the year? Still probably not. My guess would be sometime next year. A lot of this seems to be moving in that next year ish section. You got to remember, things are changing all over the place. You got a lot of weather, a lot of season changes, a lot of different things going on. A lot of things are going to get bogged down. The sea, the tide, um, snow, wind, all sorts of things is happening all over the place. So I kind of look for some of the things to settle a little bit as we go into the end of the year, beginning of next year, and then kind of when everything calms and you get that open window, I think that might be when we see some really big activity. Again, I hope I am wrong. Um, all right, let me finish up with a couple of things. I've taken up a ton of your time, and I know your time is valuable. So the attacks seem to have a uptick in the amount in the Syria and Iraq area of the U.S. military bases and assets, so kind of like the oil fields and things like that. So far, they have put out a confirmed number of 45 U.S. military injured by these attacks. So keep that as a data point. They're continuing to attack, and it's an uptick in the amount that they're attacking. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Um, the U.S. Senate. Now this is fun. The U.S. Senate plans to introduce a bipartisan resolution to warn Israel against escalating the conflict. I don't know if that makes you stand up and applaud or jump up and down and cheer or do one of them yes numbers or whatnot. Uh, but in layman's terms, which I know most of you got that, but just in case some of you didn't, your elected official that makes the decisions pretty much for the country, the people that got voted in from your area to go to Washington and to lobby and to sign into law to make the American life better is going to get together, bipartisan, doesn't matter which side they are, they're bipartisan, they're getting together, they're going to sign a piece of paper and go, don't do that. I yeah, we'll move on because that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down right now. Let's go with the last one here. This is an interesting one. I was going to post a picture. Let me read this and I'll tell you why I didn't. So, North Korea media released an image that has a stage. You can see part of the audience. You can see members on both sides. And right in the middle, there is a desk. And seated at the desk is the North Korean leader, Kim Jong un. And right behind him, they have the whole thing in this really nice, probably velvety or some sort of a red curtain, everything. It all looks, very prestigious and all that. And right in the middle is a very huge picture of Adolf Hitler. That is why I'm not putting it up here. I'm not going to put up a picture of that. Um, it's just interesting. It's a data point. I don't know. I was trying to actually look for the speech. I found part of it, but it's not translated. Um, I'm curious on what he said or what the event was in order to want to put up a picture like that. It's just it's odd to me, but um, we're going to leave it at that. So um, a couple of real quick things, and we'll end all this because I know you guys' time is extremely valuable. So we picked up a bunch of new subscribers from the pinball interview. That was extremely fun to make. Um, maybe I can get in contact with him and maybe we can do a once a month or once every other month or once a quarter or something. Just maybe a round table where we get together, or maybe we can do a live together, a live Q&A and do something because that was a whole lot of fun. And I really got a chance to meet a lot of you. I did a live yesterday night, and there was a decent amount of you that showed up, and we just for I think it was about 45, 50 minutes. We just had fun. We just talked and asked questions, and then you guys got to know me a little bit better. And I look forward to doing that again. I do have posted up a, what do you want to call it? Kind of like a question, I would say, of kind of polling for you guys on when you guys would like me to do a weekly live video. Right now, it looks like it's trending as a weekday evening to weekday night. If that's the case, there's a lot. So you got pinball, on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so that's completely out. We're not doing anything to ever overstep because I'm not going to go live because I'm watching pinball. So we're not going to do that. So what it looks like, and then I will let this run for probably a week or so to see how things change. But I'm kind of thinking of doing maybe like a Wednesday evening to a Wednesday night right now. Not set in stone. That could subject to change. So but we'll see. If you haven't checked that out, and you haven't gone and voted or anything like that, please go check that out. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Um, Make sure you go check out the video that I put out that shows the Christmas giveaway package. There's quite a few of you that have seen it. There's some comments and different things in there, so I'm really happy that a lot of you have seen it. I want you guys to be able to see what's in it. I will. I'm buttoning down. I'm getting really close to announcing how we're going to give it away, when we're going to give it away, and all the different things like that. So uh, make sure that you stay tuned for that. Other than that, I just had a really great pleasure of being able to interact and just chat with you guys and get to know you guys a lot better. I'm working on some requests that you guys have made. I'm looking into some different things. You guys have given me a lot of things uh, kind of look at for myself for my personal use. So I appreciate everything. I love this community. So again, from me to you, humbly, thank you. So God bless each and every one of you. Stay tuned. More information to come. Please remember to remain united. We're all prepping in this together.